सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We chant the first one. Tadjnanam prasham together. Tadjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam tadnyeyam yadupanishatsu nishchitartham te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nishchitetaha sheshastu brahmanilaye paribhramantaha. So, the whole thing is all about an ode to the blessed ones. That way everybody is blessed, correct? Yeah. Some of you I cannot even see. Yes, yeah. Please spread yourself out, so that you're not hiding behind somebody. The blessed ones are these, everybody says, this is what I want, to be blessed. This is what I want. Everybody wants blessings. Everybody wants to be blessed. In fact, that's the main reason to go to temples. Why? I want to be blessed. And even if you say fortunate, if you translate dhanyaha as fortunate ones, then there is a certain sense of relativity. It's relative. The person who wants to sell an old used car, in fact it should not be called car, it should be called bekar. Okay? No, it's useless. Wants to sell an old used car, considers herself very fortunate. When? Oh my God, I actually sold it. Of course, to 3 people. One car you sold to 3 people? Yeah, part by part. The wheels to 1 person, including the steering wheel, okay? And then the scrap metal to another person, and the engine to the 3rd person. She feels very good, very fortunate. And how about the people who bought this? They also feel very fortunate, correct? One of the rare occasions where everybody feels fortunate. But usually it's like different definitions of blessedness and how fortunate one feels. The person having a wedding outdoors in their backyard, what will they say? Oh God, let there be no rain. The farmer sowing the field, what will they say? Rain now, please. Very different idea of what is an opportune event, a fortunate event, a blessed event in one's life. This is not what the text is eulogizing. This is not what the text is talking about. It is talking about the blessedness of people here that are being described without any event. Eventless blessedness, which is what? One's own swarupa, one's own nature. The blessedness of just being. Being what? Satchidananda, as we saw earlier. The blessedness of just being and being oneself, that is the blessedness. And therefore it is a universal blessedness Because this is what Vedanta deals with. It does not deal with individual wants and don't wants. Because that list is so much, you can't really customize this. And so we look underneath the wants and don't wants, and then what do we see is that which is the wrong conclusions about the I, about my relationship to everything else, and about my relationship even to Bhagavan, Ishvara, God. And so the blessedness is universal, because everybody in the world, you ask them, do you want to be sad? What are they going to say? In any language you ask them. Yes, I like to be sad. No, even the person who says, I'm used to my depression and I want to be sad because, and then you ask them, why do they want to be sad? So that people will notice me. So what happens when people notice you and pay attention? I feel happy. You see, they have undermined their own argument here. What happens when they, when they see you and pay attention and say, oh, you poor thing, then I feel good, I feel happy, I feel all joyous inside. It's the joy that one wants. It's the joy that one wants. It's the ability to just be without a second. It's that oneness that one wants. And so therefore, this blessedness is a result of the exposure to Vedanta Shastra. Not just exposure. Exposure is one thing, but marinating in it is another thing. Like that, gulab jamun. That is what they have become. The gulab jamun attains oneness with the syrup in which it is immersed. First it is frying in the hot oil of samsara. Kaschit paramakarudikena, by some extremely compassionate person. Here in the gulab jamun's example, it's the slotted spoon, which takes it out of the hot oil. And in what is the darshtanta, that which is exemplified, who is that? Guru. The Guru takes the person, the jiva, the flailing jiva. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I am frying with a whole lot of other jivas who are also in the same situation. We are unable to help each other because we are drowning, as it were, in hot oil, present continuous tense. Which is why we are tense. And because if it was drowned, it's one thing. Glub, glub, glub. Ram, Nam, Satya hai, finished. Yeah. But here, it is not just, it is glub, 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 come out. Glub, 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 oh, I'm rescued, I'm saved. No. Again, glub, glub, glub. This never-ending nature of this samsara, which Pujya Swamiji very beautifully described as what? A life of permanent becoming. But becoming what? What you already are. How can you become what you already are? You can only become what you are not, which is very unbecoming. So like this, the Guru saves these jivas frying in the hot oil of samsara, takes them to the fragrant Upanishad Sara. From samsara to Upanishad Sara. Sara means essence. So from samsara, in the word samsara, sara does not mean essence. There it means to move. From sru, masculine noun of sru, to move, to go, is called sara. Here sara means essence. So from samsara to Upanishad Sara, all these jivas are put as a result of this good karma, whatever you want to call it. Lot of punya, human birth, so many factors are there. The ability to approach the Shastra, the ability to desire the Shastra, the ability to understand, the ability to have the staying power. Suddenly one can get angry. People will say, I like Vedanta, but I don't like the person sitting next to me. So you can change your seat. Yeah, but I don't like the other person also. What are you going to do? I'm not going to attend any more retreats. People, these are all true stories, all right? These are all true stories. Because I'm angry with somebody, and some people in the class, they don't behave like Vedantins. They should all behave like Vedantins. Why are you worried about them? Why aren't you worried about yourself? Are you behaving like a Vedantin or a Vedant out? First, you see that. So here, in the Upanishad Sara, when this jiva is dipped, like the gulab jamun, is still restless, bobbing up and down, refusing to engage with the liquid, with the Sara of the Upanishad. And then what? After a while, settles down. Settles down. That's why the gulab jamun you cannot eat immediately. Absolutely not. You have to let it sit for some time, a few hours, and then there is no difference between the syrup and this ball. Here also, this stress ball in the form of the jiva is dipped into the rasa, which is Sara of the Upanishad, and then allowed to marinate, and then you cannot tell the difference between that in which one is immersed and one's self. One, as it were, becomes the Shastra. The message of the Shastra is one's Swarupa, so there is no difference. The difference is as though, because one has not assimilated this. And that's why blessed are those who have assimilated this, because this is a universal want. What is the universal want? To not want anymore is the universal want. Is to stop becoming or being a wanting person. In the concert of one's life, there is always a tanpura in the background. There is a thing that keeps the shruti, keeps the melody. So that the musician can improvise, go all over the place, because the main notes of that melody, the raga, will be played with a stringed instrument, which is very simple to play. It will just keep on going like this. It's like a little droning sound of the main notes of that particular raga, so that the musician can improvise and then come back. So in the concert of everyone's life, there is a invisible tanpura, which is made known how? Because of its refrain. I lack, I lack, I lack, I lack, I lack. I want, I want, I want, I want, I want. I'm no good, I'm no good, I'm no good. This is the background messages playing in an annoying loop. And blessed are those who have gotten out of this loop through the exposure to the Upanishads. So the first verse, the first shloka, describes not these people, little bit it describes, but it describes a very basic thing. We keep talking about knowledge, self-knowledge, self-knowledge. We are beaten on the head with the term self-knowledge from the first day we have entered the Upanishad class. You need self-knowledge because you suffer from self-ignorance. The antidote to self-ignorance is what? Self-knowledge. This is what we are told. And what is this self-knowledge? And that is what the text begins with. Tat jnanam. That is indeed knowledge. We'll see the translation and then go into the verse. Tad jnanam. That is indeed knowledge. In fact, there should be evakara there. Tadeva jnanam. That alone is knowledge. That alone has, that alone is not there. We have to add that alone, in brackets. That alone is knowledge. What is this knowledge? Yat, that which, prashamakaram. Prashamakaram. Pra is the prefix. Kara is the suffix, that which does. Karoti iti karaha. And what karoti? Does what? Karoti means does. What does it do? Sham karoti. Sham karoti iti what? Shankaraha. Prashamam karoti. So sham means what? What is the quietude? That's the word from which that is the root verb from which the word shanti comes. Sham. Shantim karoti. What does it do, Shanti? What does it make? Calm. This knowledge makes the indriyas. In what are indriyas? Sense organs and organs of action. That which makes the sense organs and the organs of action calm is called knowledge. A very daring foray into this octet. Absolutely. Shakes up all our understanding of the word knowledge in a very big way. Because from the kinds of knowledge that we know, what does knowledge do? It precedes desire. Knowledge is something that precedes desire because I cannot desire that which I do not know. Only when you know, then the desire is born. So you don't know. Many things you don't know. You don't know that there is such a thing as the Valley of Flowers on the way to this famous shrine called Badrinath. You don't know that at all. You can't have a desire to go to Valley of Flowers. How will you have a desire? You don't even know it exists. You make a trip to Badrinath, you plan a trip, and then you tell somebody, let's say you come to the ashram in Rishikesh, you fall into a conversation, tell somebody, I'm going to Badrinath. Oh, are you also planning to visit the Valley of Flowers? Or they might say, don't miss the Valley of Flowers, okay? Then then your interest is there. What is this valley? And where is it? Can I go there? How far is it? And more importantly, is it in bloom right now? All this you have to Google. And then after Googling, what happens? The desire grows. The desire to go there grows. And how will you go there? By foot, by taxi, by bus, whatever the means are. You go there. Are the indriyas involved or not? Yes. Karmendriyas, organs of action involved? Yes. Jnanendriyas? Yes. Same thing. Then you are told there is an exotic something, very wonderful dish, and you never known that it existed, you never tasted it. And then again, after knowing that it exists, after knowing that it is available in a particular place, on a particular day, in India that's how it is. Certain things they make, it's only available on one day of the week. And on that day, that shop is ambushed. I mean, everybody just goes there. And so when you know that, then you go. So similarly, all knowledge is like that. What does it do? It activates the indriyas. It does not do prashamam. Doesn't do shama. Activates the indriyas totally. And how does it activates the indriya? By it's prachodayati. It impels, it compels you to act. Sudden flash sale. iPhone 17 or 25% off. Really, is this possible? Yes. It's there. If anybody said it, you would be skeptical, but Swami is sitting and saying it. Really, could this be true? Let us say, this is a hypothetical situation, okay? Let us say the Swami says, yes, I saw a news flash on the TV. I saw, it is there. So after listening to something like this, then what will the person do? Put one asana down, sit and meditate? No way. First they will ratify this information and then head to that place wherever it is that deal is to be found. This is what happens. So, and in fact, this is also a true example, because one time I was in New York, I had to go to some conference, and the conference was situated in two different places because we were in two different temples, one Hindu temple, and from there we had to drive to go to the Buddhist temple. It was an interfaith conference. We never made it to the Buddhist temple. We had to go very late. A bus had been arranged and we all sat in the bus and it wasn't moving. Wasn't moving. Finally we asked the driver what is happening. Some iPhone had been released, and then it was all the traffic had stopped there and you could not cross Manhattan at all. You could not cross because all the arteries were very clogged. We would never make it on time. So we had to arrive in twos and threes taking taxis, and even that was very late. By the time we arrived there, we could not have any discussion. So when there is knowledge, any kind of knowledge, what does it do? It does prachodhanam of the karmendriyas and the jnanendriyas. Prachodhanam means it impels one to act. First, it seeds the desire in the heart, and the desire creates a pressure for what? Action. This is what we see. So two kinds of actions are warranted depending upon the nature of the desire. One is called pravritti. Pravritti means running towards. All the examples we have given now are from pravritti standpoint. You rush towards, you run towards, you rush, you run, you approach. But then knowledge also can give rise to action, which is what? Nivritti based, going away from. Something terrible is going to happen. Flood is about to come. What do? You don't sit calmly and meditate. You pack up and whatever you can save. You salvage something, pack up and run out of there. That's why there is all these things called evacuation. Storm is coming. Cyclone is coming. Snowstorm is coming. What do we have to do? Just, get out of there. Certain things you have to get out of there. You don't say, I'm a Vedantin, I will manage. Yeah. So, this is nivritti. When I look at the rope snake, what do I have? Pravritti or nivritti? Nivritti. Run away from. That's one stock example. And then when I approach a big piece of silver lying on the beach, glistening in the sun, what is that kind of action? Pravritti. You run towards it only to find it is mother of pearl, Shuktika. The whole pravritti, nivritti life is based on mistakes. Each mistake building upon the other. The rope snake and all are just illustrations in the form of mistakes, mistake-based illustrations, but really the whole life is trying to run towards something or run away from something. Both are mistakes. When we look into the truth deeply into the source of this mistake, it is mistaking the I, the source, the only source of existence and sentience, mistaking the I for this. I, Atma. This, whatever I refer to as this, it is objectified. What is that? Anatma, not I. Not I is this. What do the I and the not I have in common? Answer is nothing. Okay? Nothing at all. No points of similarity exist. I, self-illuminating, self-effulgent, and this, anything that is referred to by the pronoun this, is what? Illuminated by I, enjoys a dependent existence. Point number 2, I, independent, self-ratified, self-proven. And whatever I refer to as this, proven by me. I, sentient. How do you know I am sentient? Well, because otherwise you would not be asking this question. How do you know, if somebody asks, how do you know I am sentient? That means what? They are advertising their sentiency. I, sentient, chetana. And whatever I refer to as this, insentient, jada, achetana. The I pre-exists the this. The this does not pre-exist the I. One more point of dissimilarity. Finally, many things in the universe can be referred to as this. How many thises are there? How much anatma is there? So many anatmas. How many atmas?
One.
Only one. Non-dually and only one. And these are the points of dissimilarity. So really speaking, mistaking myself for this cannot happen at all, should not happen. But Adi Shankara says it can happen and does happen. The I and the this horribly get entangled because the I is not fully known, and again it is not unknown. It is in between. The Trishanku status of this I makes it a calamity, makes it a point of wrong understanding, a disaster. The I is mistaken for the this, and the this is mistaken for the I. Both these kinds of things are there. This is what is called adhyasa projection. The I is projected onto this. And we see this every day in so many ways. If there is a crack on the wall of your house, you feel your heart is cracked. Oh no, what is happening? What will people think? What's going to happen to this house? Even though nobody says I house, nobody says that. My house, yes. This house, yes. But nobody says I is equal to house. But when I come to your house and say what a nice house, who says thank you? Huh? Huh? House does not say, oh, thank you very much. Then it gets closer still. I go for a walk in the morning and then I just say the person is walking their dog, or rather it's the other way around. It's very confusing because who is in front? Dog, yeah. The person who is walking dog should follow, right? No, dog is in front. Person is walking their dog or the dog is walking their person. And then I say, nice t-shirt. Does the t-shirt say thank you? No. Who says thank you? Person says thank you. In that moment, there is an ownership of this object in question, and the object then becomes, quote unquote, as though subjectified. Object becomes the subject, and object being finite, therefore the I, the subject, is mistaken to be finite. Dehatma buddhi. Dehaha eva atma iti buddhi. The body itself is atma. Body is I or this? This. Body belongs to this. And this is told in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Starts with the word idam shariram kaunteya. Idam means what? This body. Kshetram iti abhidhiyate. This body is a field where all the experiences are sown and reaped repeatedly, life after life after life. Oh, the body is a field. I thought body was I. No, body is not you. Then who am I? Kshetrajnaha tadvidaha, the one who knows this body, knows all the things. Okay, if I do this, this will happen. And who will be able to tell that this body doesn't need to eat this? You are the one who's going to tell. And so who are you? Kshetrajnaha. Kshetram janati iti kshetrajnaha. And so therefore, this and I being two separate things, one is a projection, and that's the last dissimilarity. One is a projection and the other one is as though a projector. What is the projection? The whole world of this and that is a projection of this infinite consciousness, which is the real meaning of the word I, aham. This is the whole, this is a projected world. It's an as though projection of this consciousness, which is free of the projections, inherently free of the projection, as though projector, as though cause, and the world is what? As though effect. So the I and the this cannot join together. Like oil and water, they will always be apart. But yet, this is mistaken for the I. As we saw, house, t-shirt, dog, etc., everything becomes I. This is mistaken for the I. And then sadly, I is also mistaken for this, because the I is not recognized. Therefore, what do we say? I am mortal, I am dying, I am sick. These are all identifications based on certain things. Identification based on prana. I am hungry. Identification based on mind. I am angry. Identification based on the senses. I am deaf. I am blind. Identification based on organs of the action. I am lame. You see how the this I is mistaken for this and this is mistaken for the I. These are two kinds of mistakes happening simultaneously. Scary it is. This is how it is. We don't even think about it. This is what Adi Shankara writes in his introduction, in his fabulous introduction to the Brahma Sutras. The two kinds of mistakes. Atmani anatma adhyasaha. Adhyasaha, mistake. Atmani, in the I, mistaking the I for this. And therefore one comes to grief and fear. And we have seen the example, Atmani anatma adhyasaha. And not seeing myself to be Satchidananda, mistaking myself to be a finite being is this example for this. And then Anatmani Atma Adhyasaha. In the world of this, I try to project an infinitude that it does not have. Everything has to be permanent. It's not enough to have a job. Is it permanent? And everything has to be permanent. It's not enough to have a house to live in. It has to be what? Mine. And even though people say, I bought a house, I have purchased a house, bank has purchased the house. You haven't purchased it. The bank is letting you live there as long as you are paying every month. And so like this, these two types of adhyasas, mistaking the I for the this and the this for the I, constitute the what is called Atma Ajnanam. So what is Jnanam? Jnanam here has a very beautiful definition. That which does not agitate the senses is Jnanam. That which does not put the senses, not only the senses, what are these? Organs of action. Sense organs and organs of action, both together in Sanskritam called as Indriyas. That which does not propel the Indriyas into action is called Jnanam. Tell me which Jnanam meets with this example? Only Atma Jnanam. Every other knowledge makes you want to act, either to approach the object in question, or to avoid the object in question, or to be curious about the object in question, or to know more about the object in question. The buddhi is active, the manas is active, the antahkarana is active. Oh, how come they got this and I don't have this? So many things. Sense organs are active, organs of action are active. Suddenly you're putting on your shoes, suddenly your fingers are doing the googling. Where is this available? How is this available? How can I get it? Or how can I avoid it? Either way. Every knowledge has the limitation of agitating the organs of action and putting in motion the sense organs over time. That's why everyone all the time is overstimulated. There is some kind of an information overload. Plus there is FOMO, fear of missing out. If I pursue one thing, then the other thing will be left behind. What to do? And This here, what is being described as knowledge, makes the indriyas, bathes the indriyas in the light of calmness, makes one calm instantly, makes one calm, makes one fulfilled, or shows that one is fulfilled, does not agitate the organs of action, does not propel the sense organs into being, goading one to go and do something. This is the knowledge that takes one from the realm of doing to the realm of simply being. That is what is called knowledge. And knowledge is described in the Mundakopanishad. Dve vidye veditavye hasma. Shaunaka goes to his teacher Angiras and asks for this knowledge. By wanting to know that knowledge, knowing which everything is as well as known. I mean, even to ask it in this way, so much maturity is required. How to ask that? Meaning, is there a master knowledge in the universe, knowing which there is nothing more to know, knowing which everything is as good as known? And the teacher doesn't answer directly, the teacher answers the spirit of the question and says, Dve vidye veditavye. Two kinds of knowledges have to be known. One is called what? Para, the ultimate, knowing which there is nothing more to know. That's why the senses are calmed down, because there is nothing more to know. Which researcher can say that? Tell me. You write a PhD thesis, you do a lot of research, and then it gives birth to another thesis. By who? By your opponent. And what is their thesis? Putting down your thesis. That becomes another thesis. And all of them are sitting there gathering dust in the university library. Even the professors don't read them, much less the regular public. It is a war of words. This is what it is. Keeps going. But that knowledge, Paravidya, is that which is ultimate, meaning after this there is nothing more to know, after knowing which there is nothing more to do. So Paravidya has to be known, and Aparavidya, the knowledge of the relative. Don't ask which relative, okay? Don't say I'm not very fond of any relative. Which relative are you talking about? Relative knowledge, empirical knowledge also has to be known, and absolute knowledge also has to be known. Dve vidya veditavye. Okay, Shaunaka says, tell me what is, tell me what the difference between the two. The teacher says, first we will take Aparavidya, the non-ultimate knowledge. And what is that? Rigvedaha, Yajurvedaha, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. Mind you, Vedas include Upanishad also. And I thought Upanishad was the ultimate knowledge. Here the Upanishad is confined to what? Relative knowledge. And all the branches he puts in there: Shiksha, pronunciation, Kalpaha, how to do rituals, Vyakaranam, grammar, Chandas, prosody, Jyotisham, astrology, astronomy, everything is there. Niruktam, the art of knowing how to make synonyms and antonyms. Everything is coming under what? Non-ultimate knowledge. Well, what is ultimate knowledge? Yaya aksharam adhigamyate. That by which Yaya, we have to add buddhi vritya, that by which teaching in the form of the thought communicated by a teacher to the student, that live knowledge where the pramana, the teaching methodology, is handled by the teacher and given to the student, that alone is para. What happens in the heart after listening to Vedanta is paravidya. The opening of the heart is paravidya. Rest all is what? Apara, non-ultimate. And here, all the knowledges that compel one to act, we can say, are aparavidya. All the knowledges, bodies of knowledge that compel one to desire, that compel one to act directly or indirectly, are what? Aparavidya. Here, the definition of paravidya is given beautifully. Tadjnanam prashamakaram indriyanam. This is amazing. Because the indriyas, as the Kathopanishad reminds us, is focused. Where are they focused? Outside. They're all outside. It's unfair actually. All the indriyas are outside and the sadhaka is told go within. How to go within? Eyes are open, are they not? Yes. And there are beautiful, let's say the Jagat was dull, grey, flat, monotone. But the Jagat is so beautiful. So many things to look at, so many things to interact with, so many things that attract, so many things that pull us to look at them. And same thing with the ears, so many sounds, from heavy metal to classical music, it's all there. Everything is there for various people to enjoy. It's all there. And they beckon. They say, come. And if there is a wonderful music, naturally the footsteps just go there. Oh, who is singing? What's happening over there? You are not invited. I know, but I can just peek. I can just look. But then what? Same thing with the nose. Nose also has legs. It walks to meet the fragrance, the aroma of samosas. Where? Wonderful. And for this tongue, this 3-inch tongue, dedicated to the 3-inch tongue are all the restaurants in the whole universe. Because the taste is only until you swallow. After that, one may as well be on a food pipe. Makes no difference. So everything is here to attract the senses. So how can the sense organs and the organs of action become shantaha? Not possible. That's why this knowledge is magic. Even though the odds are against one gaining self-knowledge, even though the Jagat is so beautiful to look at, and even though everyone is just running around, approaching a few things, avoiding others, somehow we still gain this knowledge. We too can become dhanyaha. This is the magic. This is the magic. Even though all odds are against us, we have difficulty going within, but still we manage. Why? The force of this knowledge takes you back to yourself and tells you that you are enough. You are okay exactly as you are, without any additions, without any subtractions. Additions means what are you going to add? To you who is infinite, if you add a new hairstyle, what does that become? Infinite plus hairstyle? Still infinite. And to you who is infinite, you take away a few things from the whatever you think constitutes you. Take away a few pounds. What is that? Still infinite. Take away a few abilities. Still infinite. Add a few more abilities. Still infinite. You cannot touch it. And therefore, we can safely say there is only one body of knowledge that accomplishes the cessation of the activities of the sense organs and the organs of action. Not because it ties up, it puts you in some kind of a handcuff. No. Because how does it make it prashama? How does it make the organs of action and the sense organs shanta? By knowing that you are enough. This is actually the mantra for today. Each time any other thought comes, the homework is to say, I am enough. If I am enough, then everything is enough. This is the abundance. And so, tadjnanam prashamakaram indriyanam yat prashamakaram tadeva jnanam. That alone is knowledge which accomplishes the pacification, the pacifying of the sense organs and the organs of action. Like a small baby being held by the parents, safe, happy, and feeling, totally secure. Like that, this knowledge, in showing that one is the only secure thing in this entire universe, dispenses with the need to cry out for things, dispenses with all kinds of needs to have various desires, dispenses with the need to pursue those desires, dispenses with the needs to be a doer and no longer a doer. That knowledge which takes away doership, that knowledge which takes away, what is the other ship? Experiencership, bhoktritvam, kartritvam, that knowledge which takes away is this knowledge of Atma. Atma Jnanam alone is there. All other knowledges are what? Agitating, irritating. Agitation producing knowledge is different. All the other bodies of knowledge are agitation producing. And this one is what? Shanti producing knowledge. In fact, it doesn't produce the Shanti, it shows that you are Shanti personified. And then Tadjnanam Yat Prashamakaram Indriyanam Tadeva Jnanam. That alone has the ability to be called knowledge. And then this is Jnanam. And then what is that? The next one, Tat Jneyam. Jnanam Jneyam. Jneyam means Jnana Yogyam. Jneyam. That which is worthy of being known. Oh, there are many things which are worthy of being known. Let me not get started. So many things are there worthy of being known. Let us list all of them. And what do you find? And you find so many things. This is worthy of being known. That is worthy of being known. But again, go back to the Mundakopanishad, Paravidya. And again, go back to the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Jneyam, that which is to be known. Yattat pravakshyami. I will tell you. That which is to be known, Arjuna. Yadnyatva amritam ashnute lokaha janaha. Knowing which people gain immortality. They are freed of dying the daily deaths of fear and sorrow. They don't understand themselves to be immortal from the standpoint of the body or the mind or the senses. That is foolish. They understand themselves to be consciousness without a beginning or an end. And what is that? Anadimat param brahma. That which has no beginning. Anadimat. That which has no beginning and that which is ultimate, this Brahman, which is Atma, which is the truth of myself, knowing which there is nothing more to be known, that alone is knowledge, that alone is to be known. And here too, the same thing is said, Jneyam tat eva jneyam. What is that? Yat Upanishadsu nishchitartham. In certain South Indian languages, nishchitartha means engagement ceremony. This is a different kind of a wedding, okay? This is a different kind of an engagement. The engagement with the Upanishad is a lifelong engagement, a lifelong commitment. Sometimes it is life after life after lifelong commitment. It's interesting that the word nishchitartha is used here. And engaging with the Upanishad, this commitment is a promise that never ends. The engagement with the Upanishad leads to the wedding with Ishvara. That's all there is to it. That's all there is. So then, in the Upanishads, Upanishadsu, plural. Seventh case, plural, means in the Upanishads, meaning what? Not just one Upanishads. All the Upanishads reveal what? The same message. Same message. And why are there so many Upanishads? Because there are so many minds. Because you are there. That's why so many Upanishads are required. One person catches hold of Nachiketa and Yama, Lord Yama story. And they relate to Kathopanishad. Another person catches hold of something else and relates to that story in the Chandogya Upanishad. Many, many different kinds of Upanishads are there, but in the end, all their message is what? One and the same. You are free of grief and sorrow. You are one with everything. You are non-separate from Ishvara. You are one with Bhagavan. This is the message. And this is the only thing to be known. Everything else is not knowledge, we already saw. The word knowledge was totally restricted. And in the first line, to just refer to what? Self-knowledge. And in the second line, that which is to be known is what? Is again restricted to the message of the Upanishads, the vision of the Upanishad, which states that even though you have a body that may be falling apart, even though you have a mind, what kind of a mind? A mind that says, never mind. That kind of a mind you have, even though you have sense organs that are fading as we speak, despite being in this finite assemblage, you are what? Infinite. As though living in a finite upadhi. This is the message. And when I know this, then it doesn't bother me. You don't have to rush against time. How to live forever. One book title I saw. I said, what? This person is either a con person or is kidding. They're self-deluded. How to live forever. Then I was a little bit interested because I thought maybe it has got some Vedanta in it. No. It was all about one whole section, 2-3 chapters were on diet. Eat lot of berries, eat this, eat that, don't eat this, don't do that. Exercise, what to do, how to live forever. To that we have to add our favorite phrase, as though. Very clever title. Because the people who read and follow the book, what will happen to them ultimately? Bye-bye. They're not going to come and start a litigation. Like, how dare you tell us this? Because they're not there in that particular form anyway. Very clever title. People are getting very, very clever. So that's not the focus, how to live forever. How to understand that the forever that I seek is non-separate from me. That is the focus. Living is not the point here. Forever. Happiness is not the point here. I want to be happy forever. Nobody says I want to be happy for 5 minutes. That forever is you. Satchidanandam Brahma is you. That alone is to be known. This is what Upanishads, so in all the Upanishads, Nishchitartham. Nishchitartham here, it doesn't mean engaged, it means well ascertained. Artha, the meaning, Nishchita, is definitely understood. Not by one, by all the Upanishads. All the Upanishads, they have the same purport as is expressed in the 4th Brahma Sutra, Tattu Samanvayat. There are no internal contradictions and there are no external contradictions. Because the Upanishad is its own means of knowledge, it cannot be contradicted by other means of knowledge and it cannot have internal contradictions. So that section, the 4th section of the Brahma Sutra, which brings about and lays threadbare all the seeming contradictions by doubting minds, is put to rest by analysis. Very beautiful. So there is what? Only one thing that is worth knowing, which is ascertained, which is the well ascertained meanings in the purport of the Upanishads. This is one way of looking at it. Another way, grammatically, we can just have some fun. We can say Upanishad Sunishchitartham, make the two into one word. The su is not the plural, it goes with well ascertained, well entrenched, well assimilated meaning. The su you take from the Upanishad in the second derivation and you put it where? In front of Nishchitartham. Upanishad Sunishchitartham, one word. So then we can say by Upanishad Bhihi Sunishchitartham. By all the Upanishads, this is well ascertained. What you are. Well ascertained knowledge, this is what is to be understood, to be known. And then, what else? Now we come to the subject matter of this. Te dhanya bhuvi. Bhuvi, on earth. Te dhanyaha bhuvi. Those are the blessed ones. Bhuvi, on the earth. What do? Move around. We have to supply move around. We have to take this move around from the next verse. Vicharanti, last line, second last word of the last line. This vicharanti, you bring it up here. Te dhanyaha bhuvi vicharanti. Those are the blessed ones who walk around, who roam around on earth. And who are they? Paramartha nishchita ihaha. Paramartha means the ultimate source of knowledge, the ultimate meaning of life, whatever you want to say. Parama plus artha, Paramartha. The final truth of one's existence. Nishchita. Nishchita means well decided here. Not well ascertained, firm decision has been made. For what? Iha. Iha means many things. Iha means activity. Iha means desire. Iha means, because we already saw, activity and desire go together. So Paramartha Nishchita Ihaha. This is not a description of a mental condition. This is the description of the people with this particular kind of a resolve. Who are these dhanyas? These are the people with this particular kind of resolve. And what is the resolve? The resolve is all their activities are geared towards the knowledge of themselves all the time. They don't do anything else other than this. They focus only on this. Up till now I was enjoying the class. Now this is a very hard thing to do. Don't worry, step by step instructions will be given in the second shloka. We will see that. So, iha, activity. And iha, not only activity, what does that mean? It also means desire. So, for one whose realm of activity is to what? Is to assimilate the words of the Upanishad. Is to understand the truth of oneself. That is the foremost activity, that is the foremost resolution for whom they are called dhanyaha. And the rest of the people, what are they? We'll see more in the next class also. Sheshaha. Oh, now they are describing me. Let us see. Okay, because it's very clear. I'm not Dhanya. I'm not coming in the among those that is described in the third line. I am Shesha. Shesha means what? Leftovers. Especially during these holiday times, so many potlucks, so many things, and so many things you make. First day it tastes good, you eat it, and then after that, you shove it to the back of the fridge. Yes. Nobody to think about, nobody to look at. These are all sheshaha, leftovers. And then you find them 1 month later. Science project, okay? And similarly, the jivas that have missed the bus, missed the boat, missed this endeavor, missed this opportunity to become what? Dhanyaha. Missed this of not become to understand themselves as dhanyaha. They are as good as, I'm not saying the Shastra is saying, as good as leftovers. I just added to it, that's all. Little embellishment. They are as good as leftovers, holiday leftovers in the fridge, forgotten and with overgrowth of wrong identifications. That is the mold and the mildew. Wrong identifications. I'm as good as this body, I'm as good as the mind, I'm as good as the senses, I'm only this much, I'm an idiot, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. These are the leftovers. And what are these leftovers in the form of jiva doing? Paribhramanti, not vicharanti. Vicharanti is different. It's an objective term. Charanti plus vi. Visheshena charanti. They are special beings who are moving around, blessing the whole universe. And what are the sheshas doing? The sheshas paribhramanti, wandering because they are lost. No GPS. What is GPS? Guru Paduka Stotram. No GPS. They are wandering as though they are lost. Where are they wandering? Brahma Nilaye. Nilaya means abode. Brahma means delusion. Not to be confused with Brahma, knowledge. Brahma, delusion. In the abode of delusion, they are wandering around aimlessly. Who? Sheshaha, the leftovers. Who are the leftovers? Adhanyaha. On this sad note, we will end this class and then tomorrow we will pick it up. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. You can have a small arati. Who wants to do? Yeah, please. You can take turns doing, perhaps. What time is satsang? 7:30.